Hello and welcome back to Cryptollennium. Today has been a loaded day, so without further ado, please like and subscribe and let's dig in. As you can see, Bitcoin is at 16,800, pushing 16.9. We just touched 17,000 for the first time in quite a while. Yeah, actually for the first time since way earlier this month. So, what does this mean? Well, we could be testing the $17,000 boundary, and if we are rejected, downfall. If we get above it, then we may see a short rally, but let's see what's been going on in relation to all of this. So SBF, if you guys didn't know this, this just came out about a few hours ago. He hid Republican donations so the media wouldn't freak out. We all knew that he was a strong political donator. He actually donated to the Biden campaign about $12 million between Alameda and FTX US. But he says he donated to both parties, and he kind of just said that he did it because all my Republican donations were dark, citing the Citizens United Supreme Court case. In practice, no one can fathom the idea that someone can actually give dark money. But the reason behind this was because that he donated dark money to avoid scrutiny, and because reporters will freak the F out if you donate to Republicans, calling them super liberal and saying he didn't want to have that fight. So I can kind of understand that. Even being someone who kind of looms on a neutral side, I see sides on both. I see things on both sides that need to be improved and that I agree with. But seeing this, it's like, that's really interesting. It's kind of an argument that we can't really use against the political side of things anymore. But towards him, it just kind of opens up the profile of someone who is more cynical, who plays both sides, obviously, to get his way. He thinks he's doing it smart. Clearly, he didn't do it smart, because if he were, nothing would have collapsed on him the way that it did. In addition, Bankman-Fried reveals the circumstances behind the Bahamian withdrawals. So if some of you don't know this, after FTX filed for bankruptcy, they allowed Bahamian citizens to withdraw their funds. They didn't allow other people to do this. And the reason for this, they kept it silent, but the reason was it was critical to the exchange being able to have a future, because that's where I am right now. And you do not want to be in a country with a lot of angry people in it. And you do not want your company to be incorporated in a country with a lot of people, with a lot of angry people in it, he said. So he allowed Bahamian citizens to withdraw their funds so they wouldn't be pissed at him for the collapse of FTX. Protecting his own ass as usual. It's kind of despicable. It's kind of smart. But at the same time, it's like, I have no respect for this guy. Hopefully he fixes it, though. Either way. Exclusive, Sam Bankman-Fried says he's down to $100,000. So in addition to everything we just went over, this is all new development. He stated in an interview that all he has left, last he checked, in his bank account was $100,000, but he doesn't really know. It's complicated. Basically, everything I had was tied up in the company he added. And at one point, if you didn't know, his wealth reached $26.5 billion. Of course, that's net worth. That's not liquid cash. Clearly, he was never at that level of wealth, but he could have taken loans out against it. And finally, I promise we'll stop talking about this guy after this, but just in, Texas orders Sam Bankman-Fried to appear in court for a hearing on February 2nd, 2023. This is obviously related to the FTX crash. They've already been doing a probe in FTX, and so this was just another foreseeable event. Another potential issue with the news today, Kucoin, they have some ridiculous APRs right now, over 200%. You can get 299% on your Bitcoin, 231% on your ETH, and 200% on USDT. People are speculating as to why this is, as to, are they short on liquidity? Are they about to collapse? Typically, weird behavior happens when there's something on the horizon. So other people obviously counter argue that and calling it absurd FUD regarding the APR. Dual investment is a financial product that is non-principal protected and has high yields. Same on Binance. Should you withdraw from Binance because of the enormous APR? No. Is this a real concern? Absolutely not. And so they're showing a screenshot of how it works. So what is it? You may lose the chance to buy or sell at more advantageous price if the price drifts further from the target price. So this is kind of like options. It's the way they're describing it, at least. It's not the same, but it's close to similar. Based on the only price on the settlement, or based on the price on the settlement date, the trade can only take place. Dual investment is not a risk-free investment. Please be aware. What's the FUD? So given that they provide this APR, CT influencers are stirring up a commotion that Kucoin is insolvent. On Binance, this is also available. So as you can see, Kucoin has been highly speculated against today and in the past. And so either way, these do look like attractive APRs. I wouldn't mess with it just with what's going on in this space right now. I would keep things non-custodial or cold completely, on a Trezor or a Ledger, or at least bare minimum MetaMask, Trust Wallet, etc. And speaking of non-custodial wallets, Coinbase Wallet will no longer be supporting the following assets and networks due to low usage: BCH, ETC, that's Ethereum Classic, XLM, Stellar Lumens, and XRP. A lot of people are freaking out about this statement that was put out by Coinbase. So for those of us that are not familiar with Coinbase Wallet, because I know I have a couple of friends that are into crypto but don't know the specifics of this, this is not Coinbase delisting these products. I'm not sure if Coinbase even allows people to buy XRP yet, just because of the SEC case. But this is not Coinbase itself delisting the products. This is just their non-custodial wallet, no longer supporting these chains. And so the funds that are on there are safe. You just got to take the passphrase, the seed phrase, and set it up in a different type of wallet to recover these items after December 5th. So this is not a big deal. I know a lot of people are probably freaked out. Like, what does this mean for these assets or these cryptocurrencies? And if you're an investor in one of them, fear not. This is really just a company positioning its resources, and it doesn't want to put any more resources towards these in a non-custodial wallet that may not make them that much money. On a more positive note and a reassuring note, today Brazil approves a bill regulating the use of Bitcoin as payment. So Brazilian lawmakers have approved a complete regulatory framework for crypto and the use for trading cryptocurrencies in the country. This is awesome. This is absolutely awesome. But one thing to keep in mind is one thing that concerns me is a rule that they sought to pass to demand that such companies explicitly separate their patrimony from capital owned by customers. For example, Bitcoin, the firm custodies for users. The clause was sought to prevent events like FTX, where we're doing the fractional reserves, we're investing customers' money, and it's not your money. Unfortunately, it was rejected. So clearly there is some interest in what this could bring and the bad side of this. And unfortunately, it's not over. People haven't learned their lesson. And deep pockets tend to make decisions like this because they control these types of events. So if smaller people get hurt, tough luck. So that is why going non-custodial is probably the safest, because even after an FTX event, they're not moving in such a direction that you'd expect them to. Maybe the US will. Hopefully we get some good regulation, but time will only tell. And Bitcoin price regains traction. Bitcoin seems primed for more upsides. And this article basically just says that if we close above 17,000, we'll likely test the next support or resistance with which is likely 17.5, closer to 18, or maybe just an hour and a half ago, we did touch and test 17,000 before just coming back down. If we close above it, cool. We might see a Christmas rally. If we don't, then we might see that leg down sooner than we expect. Either way, it gets us moving along and gets this bear market even more progressed, which is what we all want. Thanks for tuning in. Please like and subscribe. This has been Cryptollennium. We'll catch you tomorrow.